How do I get back to being me during and after a crisis? A lot of us go through complicated times, and during those complicated times, we recognize that we're not performing the way that we had before. We recognize that we don't have the confidence that we used to have. We recognize that we don't have the drive that we used to have. In some cases, we may gain weight or have anxiety, sense of depression, or just not show up at the times and in the ways that we used to show up in the past. So we ask ourselves, how do we get back to being the way that we were before that crisis? How do we find ourselves after a crisis? If someone were to ask you, well, how were you before the crisis, before the relationship challenges, before the business challenges, before the parenting issues, before the health issues? What would you say? Well, today we're going to not only answer the question of who you were, but also how can you emerge from your situation more powerful and purposeful than ever before. So, first, you have to ask yourself, and maybe even others, what are your best qualities? What are some of the good things that you've been known to do, say, have, or be in the past? When you identify the good qualities that you've displayed in the past, this allows you to see the things that you should continue to do more of in the pursuit to getting back to who you were before the crisis. Next, ask yourself, what are some of the actions that I'm currently taking or have taken in the past that weren't exactly my best qualities? Things such as being fearful, things such as not being consistent. Maybe at times you haven't been reliable or dependable. Maybe your say do ratio is off, meaning you say that you're going to do something more times than you actually do it. Maybe you've been a procrastinator, or your challenges may be more around relationships or money, or letting issues from your past control your present and your future. So once you take a really deep dive into the qualities that you recognize aren't your best qualities, these are the things you want to stop doing or definitely do less of these things so that when you do get back to being yourself, you don't bring these things along with you. So we talked about the good qualities that you've displayed in the past. Also, we talked about the qualities that you don't want to bring to your new you. So now let's discover some of the emotions, experiences, the talents, and actions you do want to bring to your present and to the future you. This is about seeing the potential within you. What do you have the potential to do, be, and have going forward? I mean, really take the time to think about the life that you want and who you will need to be in this life to make it work for you. Understand that this is a very important step. But once you acknowledge who you need to be in this scenario, it will create a pathway to not only get back to being you, but being a more powerful, purposeful version of yourself that has everything it takes to live the life that you truly desire, even through or after life changing events. So, how do you get back to being you during or after complicated times? First, you do more of the things that you and others have identified are your best qualities. Then you stop or do less of the actions that aren't your best qualities. Finally, you start being, doing, and having all the things that you've identified as who you need to be to have a more peaceful, powerful, and purposeful life moving forward. This is Tori Bryant, your transformation simplificator, helping leaders simplify the way that you see and respond to complicated times. Talk with you soon.